Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to teach you how to play our favorite family card game, which is called
May I?
May I?
May I. This is a really fun card game. It lasts a while, so it's really good to play when you have family get-togethers, or if you have like an hour that you need to fill.
You can play it with 3, 4, or 5 players.
We're gonna go over a lot of rules. It's gonna seem like a lot, but it's actually a fairly simple game. Parker can play it. He doesn't even have to be on a team. He can play it with us. If you have ever played Gin or Rummy, you actually kind of have a leg up on how this game works, and so it'll be really easy for you to pick it up.
Wait,
So,
what? What's
basically-
Gin? All you need is 2 decks of cards and 2 jokers from that deck of cards.
The goal of the game is to have the least amount of points at the end of 7 rounds.
You get points by cards being in your hand at the end of that round.
The round ends when someone has no cards in their hand. Kind of like Uno.
The setup for this game is to shuffle together 2 decks of cards with 2 jokers.
The person to the right of the dealer cuts the cards.
They try to cut the cards so that the dealer can deal the bottom half of the deck, and each person will get 11 cards except for the person to the left of the dealer who gets an extra card. So if you're playing a game with 3 people, it'll be 34 cards. 4 people would be 45 cards, and 5 people would be 56 cards.
If they cut it just right, everybody else gets 50 points.
That's right. If everybody gets the right amount of cards and there are no cards left over or no cards needed from the rest of the deck, everybody else that didn't cut the cards gets 50 extra points. And remember, in this game, you don't want points.
You don't want a bone.
At this point, everybody's gonna have 11 cards except for the person to the dealer's left, who takes a card and drops it face up next to the deck, creating the discard pile. The goal for the first round is to get 2 sets of 3 or more cards that are all the same number, or letter in the case of the ace, jack, queen, and king. Red aces and jokers are wild. They can be any card. On each person's turn, they're gonna draw a card and they're gonna put a card down. They can either draw a card from the top of the deck or the top of the discard pile. And basically they're trying to get cards into their hand that match their set so that they can put those sets of cards down on the table. Once the cards are down on the table, they're not in your hand anymore and they can't count as points.
If you see a card in the discard pile and it's not your turn, you can say, May I? You only get 3 May I's per round. May I means that you take the top card of the discard pile and grab another card from the top of the deck.
And then the person whose turn it is will take the next card down in the deck and continue to play as normal. Anytime someone says, May I? You have to say yes, unless you take the card that they just May I'd off of the discard pile. You can't put any cards down on the table until you have 2 sets of at least 3 of a kind. You put down both sets at once. If you have more than 3 of a kind, you can put all the matching cards down, but you can only put down 2 sets of cards in front of you.
So if other people have cards down too, you can add on to theirs. So if they have 5s and you have a 5 in your hand, you can also add it down once you put down.
As soon as someone has placed cards down on the table, anybody can add to their pile to get cards out of their hand, as long as they've put their 2 sets of 3 down already. You can't place cards down onto somebody else's pile if you haven't put your 2 sets down first. As you keep drawing and placing cards down, eventually somebody's gonna end up with no cards in their hand. At that point, the round is over and everyone adds up their points. The person who has no cards in their hand gets 0 points for that round. Everyone else adds up their points based on the card's number. If it's a face card, those are worth 10 points. Black aces are worth 15 points. Red aces are worth 20 points. And jokers are worth 25 points. Now there's an extra little expert thing that you can do when you're putting your cards down. You could wait until you have the ability to put all your cards down at once. If you do that, then you double everyone's score that they have left in their hands.
Everybody else's score.
That's the end of round 1, and that's the basics for the whole entire game.
So the gameplay continues the exact same way, except your goal for each round changes. So far, we've been working with groups of 3, and in our family, we call those 3s for like shorthand. There's also something called a 4, and in round 2, you're gonna collect 1 group of 3 and one group of 4. The group of 4 is actually a straight flush in poker. So it'll be 4 cards that go in sequential order, so like 2, 3, 4, 5, all of the same suit. It could be spades, hearts, clubs, or diamonds, but it all has to be the same suit.
And each round, the dealer rotates to the left.
So the person to the left of the dealer from round 1 will be the dealer in round 2.
And the old dealer would be the cutter.
And the person to the left of the dealer gets the 12th card.
An ace can either go at the end of a run, like it can go jack, queen, king, ace, or it could go at the beginning of a run if it's ace, 2, 3, 4. So the ace can be either the high card or the low card when you put it down, but it can't be both. You couldn't do queen, king, ace, 2. However, as soon as someone places that, anybody else on the table that places cards down can place cards down as a 2, 3, 4, and continue.
And we call it going around the corner.
Right. You can't go around the corner when you put your cards down, but after they're down there, anybody at the table can go around the corner. Just as before a turn goes, you draw a card from either the discard pile or the deck of cards, and then you place a card down onto the discard pile. And just as before, you can may-I cards, taking the card that you wanted plus an extra card, and the person whose turn it actually was takes the next card down. At the end of round 2, you add your score from before to the score that you got in round 2, and that is your new score. And you continue on throughout the game, adding to your score until you've done all 7 rounds.
There are 7 rounds. The first round is, as you know, 2 threes. The second round is 1 3 and 1 4. The third round is 2 4s. I know it's a lot, but wait until you hear this round. The next round is 3 threes.
So that's 3 sets of 3 or more of a kind.
The next round after that is 2 threes and 1 4. The next round after that one is 1 3 and 2 4s. Now this is a really tough one. 3 4s.
That one gets me every time.
You barely have enough cards when you start to do that one. I think you have to may-I, or you have to get exactly the right card that you want, right, like right there, and then all your cards are gonna get used to make your sets of 4. That is how you play may-I. If you have questions, which I'm sure some of you do, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. We will try and address them there. It is a really fun game. I hope that you try it. I hope you can find 2, 3, or 4 other friends that you can play with. If you like this style of video, let us know in the comment section as well, and we can make more tutorials on different things. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Deborah, bye, subscribe.
Dabra?
Yeah, whoa.